بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إنا أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه أن أنذر قومك من قبل أن يأتيهم عذاب أليم. قال يا قوم إني لكم نذير مبين أن اعبدوا الله واتقوه وأطيعون يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويؤخركم إلى أجل مسمى إن أجل الله إذا جاء لا يؤخر لو كنتم تعلمون. قال رب إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا فلم يزدهم دعائي إلا فرارا وإني كلما دعوتهم لتغفر لهم جعلوا أصابعهم في آذانهم واستغشوا ثيابهم وأصروا واستكبروا استكبارا ثم إني دعوتهم جهارا ثم إني أعلنت لهم وأسررت لهم إسرارا فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله 7 سماوات طباقا وجعل القمر فيه.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد للصواب بمنك وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النكال والنقمة وأعظم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنت لي في دعائك ومسألتك فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي وأغل يا غفور عثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها وهموم قد كشفتها وعثرة قد أغلتها ورحمة قد نشرتها وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الظلم وكبره تكبيرا. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه ولا شبيه له في عظمته. الحمد لله الفاشي في الخلق أمره وحمده، الظاهر بالكرم مجده، الباسط بالجود يده، الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا تزيده كثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما. إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير مع حاجة بي إليه عظيمة وغناك عنه قديم، وهو عندي كثير وهو عليك سهل يسير. اللهم إن عفك عن ذنبي وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي وصفحك عن ظلمي وسترك على قبيح عملي وحلمك عن كثير جرمي عندما كان من خطئي وعمدي أطمعني في أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك، الذي رزقتني من رحمتك وأريتني من قدرتك وعرفتني من إجابتك، فصرت أدعوك آمنا وأسألك مستأنسا لا خائفا ولا وجلا مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك. فإن أبت عني عتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي أبطى عني هو خير لي لعلمك بعاقبة الأمور. فلم أر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد اللئيم منك علي يا رب. إنك تدعوني فأولي عنك وتتحبب إلي فأتبغض إليك وتتودد إلي فلا أقبل منك، كأن لي التطول عليك. فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي والتفضل علي بجودك وكرمك. فارحم عبدك الجاهل وجود عليهم بفضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الإصباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمه بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على طول أناته في غضبه، وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق الإصباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله، ولا شبيه يشاكله، ولا ظهير يعاضده. قهر بعزته الأعزاء وتواضع لعظمته العظماء، فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أنادي، ويستر على كل عورة وأنا أعصيه، ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجازي. فكم من موهبة هنية قد أعطى، وعظيمة مخوفة قد كفى، وبهجة مونقة قد أرى، فأثني عليه حامدا وأذكره مسبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه، ولا يغلق بابه، ولا يرد سائله، ولا يخيب آمله. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين، ويرفع المستضعفين، ويضع المستكبرين، ويهلك ملوكا، ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاصم الجبارين مبير الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها وترجف الأرض وعمارها وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراته. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق ويرزق ولا يرزق ويطعم ولا يطعم ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك، أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين، عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، حججك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر وحفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك، استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله، مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له، أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا، يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعزه وأعزز به، وانصره وانتصر به، وانصره نصرا عزيزا، وافتح له فتحا يسيرا، واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله، وتذل بها النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملنا، وما غصرنا عنه فبلغنا. اللهم المم به شعثنا، واشعب به صدعنا، وارتق به فتقنا، وكثر به قلتنا، وأعزز به ذلتنا، وأغن به عائلنا، واغض به عن مغرمنا، واجبر به فقرنا، وسد به خلتنا، ويسر به عسرنا، وبيض به وجوهنا، وفك به أسرنا، وأنجح به طلبتنا، وأنجز به مواعيدنا، واستجب به دعوتنا، وأعطنا به سؤلنا، وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا، وأعطنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشف به صدورنا، واذهب به غيظ قلوبنا، واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق. آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله، وبضر تكشفه، ونصر تعزه، وسلطان حق تظهره، ورحمة منك تجللنا، وعافية منك تلبسنا، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وجل فرج. والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبو القاسم محمد. والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. صلوات وصل على محمد وآل محمد وجل فرجه. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a pleasure to be with you again here at the Noor Collective. This evening that we continue our discussion, inshallah, about the life and legacy of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. So over the last few nights, we've been giving some examples from the life of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam in order to highlight something that happened from the birth of Imam Ali, that people were envious of his status and his position, and throughout his life. And just to kind of begin our discussion for this evening so that you can understand where I'm going with this discussion. So now in what's going to amount to the second half of our discussion, we can move forward. So we have to talk about the asle imtihan, the principle of test in life. And I think that because Noor Collective has heard me speak before, many of the audience has heard me talk about this before, we'll come at it from a little bit of a different direction. But as you know, like one of the things that we try to impress upon our people as we go around and speak is this idea that the basic and most essential function of the world that we live in is test for the human being. You know, culturally, we've been trained that life is supposed to be a bowl of cherries. However, you know, contrary to our cultural expectations, life isn't perfect. And it's a very easy equation as to why life isn't perfect. Many of us would like that life should be perfect, but it's imperfect. And the reason is because, like Madonna said, we're living in a material world. It's a material world that we live in. Matter, just as one of its basic rules, is imperfect. All that's created, if it's made from matter, it is imperfect. And thus, because the world is made from matter, the world is imperfect. We don't live in a perfect world. We live in an imperfect world. And the asle imtihan, the default mode setting in this world, is test. We're placed in an imperfect world, and we're commanded by the divine that now you strive for perfection. Yani, in the face of the imperfection of the world, you achieve perfection. And in this test and in this struggle is where we grow, where we develop, where we progress, and most importantly, where our hidden potential is exposed. Most importantly, to ourselves, right? We have to know what we're made of in order that we may grow and progress and attain our full function. So this world is here to test us and to expose our potential and what we're made of and what we can achieve. Part of the test that we face in this dunya is not just test of the physical difficulty of the world, quote unquote, but also our emotional states. One of the things that we notice that we've been talking about very much about in this series of discussions is this emotion of envy. I mean, it's been with human beings since the dawn of time. I mean, Habil and Qabil. Cain killed Abel based on this envy that he felt towards his brother. This was a killing that was rooted in envy. And we'll talk a little bit about this as we move along this evening, inshallah. But envy is one of those tests that we face in life. And envy is also one of those tests that we face in regards to divine messengers, prophets, a'imma, awliya, that are sent to us. Now, we've been discussing this envy in regards to Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. And we listed a few examples, right? His birth in the Kaaba, his being raised lovingly by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his being trained by Prophet, and Even when we look at later phase of his life, later periods in his life, because up until now, we've only been up to really covering his life into that early adolescence, right? Tonight, we'd like to give some more examples from his life. But you'll notice that in each of these examples that we've given up to now, our aim has been to show how in each step of the way, this envy was almost excited in the people towards Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. And I wanted to make clear in our opening this evening that this isn't just something that Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam faced. All prophets have faced the envy of their people that they're sent to. I mean, we see this mentioned in Quran where, like, Quran will say that the people says, well, why didn't Allah send down an angel to us? Right? The people of Makkah said this, as well as previous nations said this, right? Like, why hasn't Allah sent down an angel to us? This is a statement based in envy, even though we don't recognize it as such. The reason we say it's based in envy is because what these people are saying is, he's a man like us. Why should I have to obey him? What makes him so special? Why is he better than me? And when they say, why doesn't Allah send down an angel? What they're saying is, why doesn't Allah send down someone better than me? It's an envious statement when they say this. Now, they're overlooking the mercy of Allah when they say this. That Allah has sent a messenger to you, like you, a human being who bears the same burdens we bear, has the same trials and tribulations, faces them like we face them. Has the same difficulties in life that we face. A human prophet can relate to us much more. If Allah sent an angel to us, right, then it would be easy for us to tell the angel, right, you don't understand what we're going through. We're humans and you're an angel, right? So when the people would say, why didn't Allah send down an angel to us? It's a statement based in envy. I mean, prophet, so what we're trying to say here is, all prophets have dealt with this. And indeed, our own Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he also dealt with this envy of the people. And I mean, I'll just pull one example, Abu Lahab. Abu Lahab was his uncle. He knew that Prophet was a Siddiq. He knew that Prophet was Al-Amin. I mean, this is his nephew. He knows his reputation in town. Why does he react the way that he reacts towards Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And this is his uncle. And the reason is because of envy. Abu Lahab doesn't think that Prophet Muhammad is better than him. Doesn't think that he deserves the position that he's been given. And so all prophets dealt with this. Now, for whatever reason, Allah saw fit, and we'll try to get into a little bit of that reasoning tonight and as the nights follow, inshallah. But for whatever reason, Allah chose to double this test for us. Allah gave us first the test of Prophet Muhammad and that envy towards him, right? And we had to endure this test as a ummah. Maybe not me and you, but those that awa'il, those first Muslims, they had to really search within themselves and confront this envy that they may have had towards Prophet himself. And what's funny here, that Allah administers this test of envy to us twice, so that as soon as we reconcile ourselves to the fact that Muhammad is the Prophet, and we cleanse ourselves of this envy that we may have towards him, immediately as we're done with that test, then we face the test of Imam Ali, and envy towards Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. And there's a reason why Allah has established that our nation, Ummat Muhammad, should face that test double. Whereas other prophets, they faced it once. You had to deal with that prophet and the envy that you may feel towards that prophet. And once you get over that, once you settle that in your heart, and you accept that this is the prophet of Allah, you move on. For whatever reason, with Ummat Muhammad, Allah tests us twice. That as soon as you're done dealing with that envy in your heart towards Muhammad, now you got to deal with the envy in your heart towards Ali. Let's continue, inshallah. Send us salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajuh. Khair. So, for whatever reason, if anyone passed that test 1, the envy towards Prophet Muhammad, then we see in the history that for whatever reason, however they passed it, because sometimes you cheat on a test too, right? Sometimes you pass the test, but you pass the test because you cheated. Whoever passed it, the test 1 with envy in relation to Prophet Muhammad, if they cheated on that test, then they definitely would fail the second test. And this, when we look at the history of Islam, this is precisely what occurred. Those who were able to slip by the first test of envy towards Prophet Muhammad, then they were caught up in the second test. Now, last night we mentioned some of these examples from the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. At least I think it was that we mentioned. Isn't it last night we mentioned Da'wat Zul Ashira and some of these examples? Yeah. And so my days are running into one now. I'm living such the good life in San Diego, right? We don't know what day of the week it is. What did we do yesterday? Allahu Akbar. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa al Muhammad. Let's take this one example that we mentioned last night, Da'wat Zul Ashira. We all know the story. We mentioned last night, part of the example was that Imam Ali, as a young man, probably 13, 14 years old, is given the responsibility to prepare this gathering, all the food, all the utensils, everything that's going to be needed. The only thing that Prophet has to do now is address the crowd, right? Ali has to take care of the food and the catering and all that, okay? And we had mentioned that side of it last night, just as an example of how, with the training and raising of Imam Ali, the way that it was conducted by Prophet, at that age, 13, 14, he could accept such a responsibility and carry it out. And we wanted to draw that comparison with the 13 and 14-year-olds that we're raising today, right? Not that there's anything wrong with our 13 and 14-year-olds. May Allah bless you all, inshallah. However, we have to do a much better job in raising them and training them so that they can accept their responsibilities. The other side of this story, though, that I'd like to mention for this evening, with his Da'wat Zul Ashira. When the people, they finally hear the message of Hazrat Rasulullah, and Ali is introduced as the successor and inheritor of Prophet Muhammad, the people reply with what? With envy. And you can see it clearly at Da'wat Zul Ashira, especially from Abu Lahab, character that we just mentioned, and other participants, And we mentioned some other examples of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, his role as protector of Prophet, and his role in toppling of the idols before the emigration. Now, for tonight, we have some examples prepared also in how Imam Ali, at this age where after the age of 14, we're now, what we were saying according to our Barnameh Rizi, from our planning that we were doing from the previous 2 nights, for 7 years the child is a prince or a princess, but they're still being trained and guided. Second 7 years, they are really put into intensive training. And from the age of 14 now, we say that, look, what we have is what we have. If the child is good, alhamdulillah. If the child is bad, we make dua. But at 14, there's no going back now. You cannot replace those years that we missed out on, right? In Imam Ali's life, in these years after the age of 14, we see that he plays a central role in the history of Islam. I have a few examples picked out for this evening. We'll mention very quickly. During the embargo, when all of Bani Hashim were put into Sheikh Abi Talib and put under embargo, right? We see that Hazrat Hamza and Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, they function, this is maybe the root of their teamwork that you'll see later on at Badr and Uhud and these different battles later on. These two work almost as a team in running the blockade. And Imam Ali in particular performed very heroically in running the blockade that was established against Bani Hashim. So who was the person that was able to sneak out of the barricaded area, the embargoed area, able to carry out message, bring back supplies, carry out the instructions of Prophet to keep Bani Hashim alive and somewhat provisioned with supplies, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. And in this time of his life, in those mid-teenage years, really he performed like a hero. And if we're going to put the survival of Bani Hashim on the shoulders of anyone, then we have to say Hazrat Khadija alayhi salam, who really spent her wealth in breaking this embargo and making sure that the Muslims and Bani Hashim were supplied, and Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, who was the executive branch of this operation, who made sure that that supply train was open and logistics were running. So during this period of Islamic history, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, he performed heroically. Before the Hijrah, we have one famous incident that happened, that when they had come together and planned to kill Hazrat Rasulullah, that night that Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam slept in the bed of Prophet Muhammad. And we all know this story, and from one aspect of it, usually we only pay attention to this one aspect of it, the aspect of the courageous nature of Imam Ali, the bravery of Imam Ali, sleeping in the bed of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, right? And really, this, not to diminish this side of it, this is a great thing. I mean, a huge ordeal that Ali at this age volunteers and accepts this mission to sleep in the bed of Prophet, surrounded by armed enemies who are planning to come in and kill Prophet. Incidentally, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam says that night, sleeping in Prophet's bed, was the best night of sleep I had ever had. You know, like Imam Ali slept. And you know it too, because when you read the story and you read about them breaking in the morning, right? Because they stayed there and watched Prophet all night. That's what's the story good, right? They watched Prophet all night and they didn't see him move in the bed. That's because Ali was out like a light. Ali was sleeping hard and peacefully. And in the morning when they broke in is when Ali jumped up. They probably woke him up. He was sleeping soundly in Prophet's bed. Now, we always focus on the courage and bravery of Imam Ali to confront the enemies in this fashion. One aspect of this story that we don't recognize is Imam Ali was left behind by Prophet to tie up all the loose ends in Mecca, to shut down the business, collect the debts, pay the debts, whatever, shut down Mecca so we can move to Medina. Meanwhile, Prophet is sneaking out of town and he runs into somebody and he takes this somebody along with him, right? Now, there's numerous stories how he came to run into this guy and why he took this person with him. That's not the topic of our discussion this evening. But he took the person with him. Prophet takes this person with him. And they have a harrowing night's escape from Mecca, don't they? They have to get away. In the morning when it's found out, trackers are sent on their tail, and the trackers follow them right to the mouth of the cave that they're hiding in. Homework for everybody. Go and Google this cave. I don't even remember the name of the cave that they hid in during Hijrah, but if you just Google the cave that Prophet Muhammad hid in during Hijrah, a picture of that cave will come up. If you see a picture of this cave, when you hear them say, right, that the spider was able to spin a web over the door of the cave and that's what saved Prophet, when you see the cave, you'll understand how. The cave really ain't no cave, right? It's big enough for you to squeeze through and crawl in. It's really not big enough for like two people to go in at one time. You got to get down on your belly and kind of squeeze and to get in the doorway of it, huh? These two, they escape, they get inside the cave, and by the skin of their teeth and a spider's web, they're able to escape. Really terrifying night for them. They arrive on the outskirts of Medina, and Prophet will not enter Medina until Ali comes. When we talk about these aspects of Imam Ali's life, it's not just that Prophet loved him. It's not just that Prophet cared for him, right? But on the flip side of this, here's this companion of Prophet who went through this treacherous ordeal of escaping from Mecca. We've been through so much together this day, Prophet. Now you don't want to enter until Ali comes? Really, it must have burned his heart that after all they went through in the Hijrah, Prophet won't enter Medina without Ali. He waits there for Ali until Ali joins him, and then he goes to Medina. And we see this repeated in the life of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. The test of Imam Ali on us, this test of envy against Imam Ali, it's really a big test. People recognized that Prophet always preferred Ali. On numerous occasions, the people would protest. The people frequently protested and would say, "Why have you preferred Ali over us?" And Prophet in numerous places had to reply to them, "It's not me who has preferred Ali. Allah prefers Ali." I mean, in various places, Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says this. One example of this, that it's after the Hijrah, but it's a beautiful example of this condition of the people towards Ali. When the doors of the apartments were ordered to be closed to Masjid al-Madinah, right? Everybody's door, everybody who had a house that was surrounding Masjid al-Madinah, right, had to close their doors so that they could no longer cut through the mosque. When they opened their doors, they could now no longer go through the mosque to exit, right? Everybody was ordered to close their doors except Prophet and Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. And this inspired the envy in the people. And the people came to Prophet Muhammad and they complained, "Why have you closed all our doors but left Ali's open?" See, this is the thing. They had passed, for however they had passed test number one, they had passed it. Whether they were cheating, whether they were loyal, whether they were truthful, they passed the test of envy towards Prophet. So they didn't come and say, "Well, why didn't you close your door too, Prophet?" No, they came and they complained about Ali's door being kept open. And Prophet had to tell them, to finally quiet them, because of course he tried to talk to them this way and that way. Finally, to end the debate, Prophet had to come and tell them, it's Allah who has commanded this. And that's why, if you look at Islamic history, frequently, Prophet would have to end the debate in that way. Allah commanded it. Because when you're not having a result on the people's reason, their understanding, then you got to fall back on what? Look, since you can't understand, Halitun Nimishe, right? You can't get it? Allah said so. Okay, easy. Allah said so. And then they'd bow their head and say, okay, Allah. But they really wouldn't submit. So this test that the people were facing, it was like this. And you can see this repeated throughout the life of Imam Ali at various places. Again, I'll choose another example, right? That's later on in the life, later on in the history of Islam, at Ghadir. When Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam is announced as Prophet's successor and inheritor, right? Many people did protest. They protested. And they showed their envy towards Imam Ali. And finally, Prophet had to break down and say, Shaitan got Adam expelled from the paradise because of hasad. Here Prophet speaks about envy, sarihan, directly, openly, clearly. He says, Shaitan got Adam expelled from paradise due to envy. So all of you should not be envious towards Ali ibn Abi Talib, towards Ali. فَتَهْبَتَ أَعْمَالَكُمْ, he says. That you, by envy towards Ali, you will cause your deeds, your good deeds, to be wiped out. Habte a'mal. Now, I remember you and I in this community, we talked about habte a'mal some time ago. And I just want to remind you, habte a'mal, to have your good deeds wiped out. Usually in Quran, it's only attached to kufr. Yani, that if someone becomes a kafir or denier of Allah, then all of their good deeds are wiped out, right? There is only one place where habte a'mal is applied to believers. Usually it's applied to disbelievers. Only one place where it's applied to believers, and that's in relation to Ahl Bayt alayhim as-salam. And we see this with Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. One thing I forgot to mention about the closing of the doors, right? I see it here in my notes now. When we mentioned the closing of the doors to Masjid al-Madinah, Prophet got so angry with the people, complaining against Ali, showing envy towards Ali. Then finally, Prophet had to say, look, it's the command of Allah, and whosoever doesn't like it, then they should leave. And he pointed towards Sham. He pointed towards Syria. And he said, and then they should leave, meaning that if you can't stand this command of Allah, if you can't subdue your envy towards Imam Ali, then you have to leave even Bilad Islam. Yani get out. Leave now. So this to show you the level of envy that was apparent even to Prophet during the lifetime of Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. Send us salawat so we can continue, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Let's make one more example, then we'll move on. Okay? Bara'at, the incident of Bara'at, where the verses of immunity, the verses of Bara'at were revealed, and Prophet sent them with two of his companions to be read to the people of Makkah. In the midst of their journey, though, a message is sent with Imam Ali, telling them, y'all come back, Ali has to go. Send Ali they sent Ali in the place of these two. Why? Because the verse commanded, Allah commanded that either Prophet himself or someone close to him should do that. Right? And so Ali is sent because he's the closest one to them. How do you think that made those two feel? Those two who were sent initially, that they're called back and told, you're not close enough. Ali is closer. You two have to come on back, send him to do the job. So we see these numerous examples where Prophet, he gives tarjih, he gives preference to Ali. And not just to Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali, but in general to his family. I'll give you an example of that. How did Hazrat Hamza, Sayyid al-Shuhada, become Sayyid al-Shuhada? I mean, the Lord of the Martyrs. This was his title in the lifetime of Hazrat Rasulullah. Many people went to battle. Many people were killed. Why should Hamza gain the title Sayyid al-Shuhada? Shall I tell you why? There's a secret to it, The night before the battle, Prophet comes to Hazrat Hamza and tells him, Hamza, tomorrow you will attain shahadat, martyrdom. So get ready. So Hazrat Hamza says, I'm ready. I'm prepared for this. I've been prepared for this. And Prophet says to him, then if you're ready, then recite after me. He made him, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah, wa Ashhadu anna Aliyun waliyullah. He asked Hamza on the night before his shahadat, then you testify also to the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali. And Hamza did so. Now I want you to understand what a big deal this is, right? Because we're going to say, of course, he's Hamza, Sayyid al-Shuhada. Hamza is the uncle of Ali. Significantly older. Ali is his student. In warfare, in learning how to handle that sword. Ali himself will tell you, he trained with Hamza. Hamza is not just an uncle to Ali, the young man. He's a mentor. He's a ustad. He's a teacher to Ali. And that Hazrat Hamza bows and submits to the wilayat of this significantly younger man who happens to be his nephew, who's under his authority. This is how Hazrat Hamza gets this title, Sayyid al-Shuhada. That when Prophet stands up to lead his Salat al-Janazah, they say that Prophet didn't read the 7 takbir. He read 70 takbir. That it became a rasm, a tradition in Medina, that if you're going to do anything, any majlis, any get together, first you do the Rozel of Hazrat Hamza Sayyid al-Shuhada. This was a tradition in Medina for some time. Hamza attains this lofty status based on his submission, his acceptance of Wilayat Ali ibn Abi Talib. Yani some people did pass the test. Yani they passed test 1 in accepting Hazrat Rasulullah, and they passed test 2 in accepting Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. Sanna salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajuh. Now, let's finish up here for this evening then, so we can move on from tomorrow night. Why would Allah give us the same test that other nations have had in regards to their prophet, right? But why would He double this test for us? Why do Muslims get, hey, you got to overcome the envy of Prophet Muhammad, and then immediately thereafter overcome the envy of Imam Ali? One thing that we should know then is other nations, they had their own particular shortcomings and weaknesses and faults, right? One shortcoming, weakness, and fault that is peculiar and particular to the Ummah Muhammad is nifaq, hypocrisy. Other nations didn't suffer from hypocrisy the way we do. You don't find hypocrites in Hazrat Isa's followers. Even the Christian story they talk about, Judas and this and that, disregard that. We're not talking about that. In the Islamic version of events, you rarely see, if ever see, nifaq in previous nations. Nifaq is a disease particular to the Ummah Muhammad. In the time of Musa, people either believed or didn't believe. Nobody pretended to believe in Musa and secretly disbelieved. And same in the previous prophets. People either believed and accepted, or they said, Baragomsho, we don't believe in what you gotta say, right? It's in Prophet Muhammad's ummah that nifaq, hypocrisy, becomes a problem. And one of the reasons for sure that Allah applied this test to this ummah twice is because the people of Makkah and Medina saying that they believed clearly wasn't true. A great number of them claimed to believe, but in fact didn't. And because of this level of nifaq and hypocrisy that existed, then now you gotta pass the test twice. Yani it's easy to come and say, yeah, we believe, ya Rasulullah, we believe. But now when you got to pass the test twice, and that too in regards to Ali, because realize what a test Ali is. In a patriarchal society, here is a young man that the old men are being told, you have to follow him. Realize what's going on. How Prophet is participating in the setting of the game to test the people. I mean, beautiful example, right? Something we mentioned maybe earlier. Hazrat Zahra alayhi salam. Hazrat Zahra, out of all the women that are available, Prophet calls her Sayyidatun Nisa al-Alamin. Ja'far al-Tayyar. Many people went to battle. Many people lost both arms. Huh? How come Ja'far al-Tayyar gets called a Tayyar? Prophet consistently gave his family preference. And we're not talking about nepotism. This was to establish their superiority. And one of the problems that human beings have is to bow to the superiority of another human being. It becomes all too easy to say, oh, he's just like me. They breathe air like me. They bleed like me. What's the difference between me and them? How come they're better than me? So at each step of the way, Prophet sets the test for this ummah. That to cleanse yourself of envy, to cleanse yourself of hypocrisy, then you have to accept Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. And this is a huge test for the people, insha'Allah. Khair. I think that we've mentioned enough for this evening, insha'Allah. we'll finish off here for tonight and open the floor up for questions and or answers, inshallah. We ask that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should have mercy on our souls, forgive us of our sins, guide us to His straight path. Ya Allah, set firm our feet in your path, strengthen our limbs in your service, and hasten the appearance of your Imam, and make us his helpers and supporters upon his return. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وجل فرجه. خير. Q&A, inshallah. Questions and answers. Feel free to send in your questions, comments, and answers now, inshallah.
All right. أعوذ بالله من شر الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The first question that was asked, and there's no need to repeat, inshallah. I think it's going to be clear, inshallah. The first question that was asked is that if people are solidified at age 14, why do we lose most of our youth at or during college? Is there any insight to this?
Because we didn't do our job at age 7, and, we didn't do our job from the time they were born to the time that they turned 14. This has been our basic premise. We're not saying that things are set and dried at the age of 14. What we're saying is that if we've done our job correctly in the first 14 years of that child's life, then at 14, this is what we have. Now, if we haven't done our job correctly, right, then a whole lot of other factors come in. If that child is not an obedient and good child at the age of 14, then maybe the example we set for them will settle in later, right? And they'll come back and be good. The question as to why we're losing them when they go into college is because, you know why? You were controlling them like children from the time they were 14 to 18. They had no chance to rebel in your home. They were under your thumb in your home. And the minute that they got out, then they rebelled. It's easy answer. It's not that they were great kids when they were 14, 15, 16, and 17. They were fantastic and they were never doing anything bad and they were wonderful kids and they went away to college and all of a sudden, hamichi kharab shut. No. They were under your thumb at 14, 15, 16, and 17. We didn't do our job correctly up to age 14 so that they could be independent, and now we guide them and, try to lead them in a certain direction after the age of 14. No, at the age of 14, we still had them under our thumb, under our deep control, like children. And the minute they got away from that control, then they rebelled. And this would frequently happen. For the record, just to finish up here, for the record, this frequently happens when you force people to accept religion. Whether you force them with burhan and dalil, and so that they submit to your proofs because they can't argue, or you force them with social pressure or a gun or a knife so they will submit until that pressure is removed. Faith has not settled into their hearts. And the minute that pressure is removed, like they move out and go to college, then they do what the heck they want. Next question, inshallah. Or answer. If somebody's got an answer, send in some answers. Ya Ali Madad.
So question number 2 is, do Sunni brothers not believe that Hazrat Hamza did his shahada, the third shahada, before his death? Is this a Ja'fari only belief?
Of course it would be a Ja'fari only belief, because we've read this from the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Sadiq reports this to us, right? And of course, I want to point this out, right? One of our main contentions in these nights has been envy of Amir al-Mu'mineen has suppressed a great deal of his information that has come to us. And has wiped it clean from the books of our Sunni brothers, right? Envy towards Imam Ali has altered our understanding of the position and the status of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam.
The third question that was asked is, do you think this envy that people felt towards the Prophet and Imam Ali was the reason behind Abu Bakr being picked as the Khalif?
There's no doubt. I mean, it's well, what's their name? The other one there, his buddy, admitted it. They said that when we would have, he himself, he says it, his buddy, the other one, the second one, he says, we were confronted with this Khilafat of Ali, but we didn't accept him on 2 grounds. Number one, he was too young. Number two, he would have been too strict with the people. I mean, this is what the second one himself said, right? So it's very clear that, oh, he was too young. But this is envy. He's too young. Prophet appointed him at that age. So yeah.
The next question is, why do you think hypocrisy was such a worse issue during the Prophet's time versus the time of past messengers? Did it have to do with the culture of the Arabian society, or are there other factors in play?
I mean, I can't answer like fully, like did it have to do with their culture or this or that or why our nation or why the other, but I have a hypothesis. My hypothesis is this, that because Prophet's message is the last message that's coming, right? So certain things have been done and certain actions have been taken because there is no other prophet coming. And the example set by our prophet and the example set by our awliya has to last for the rest of time and for the rest of humanity. So just to feed into this hypothesis that I have, right? My hypothesis says that Islam is the best religion for the modern era. Like no other religion can compete with us on this level. Not Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, no other. Our religion is the religion of the 21st century, let's just say, right? There's no other religion to be revealed hereafter, so we got to be perfect. So the circumstances that we've encountered in our history, the situations that have presented themselves, the lessons that we've learned from awliya, all of it is because there is no other prophet coming. This is the final message, and it has to be perfectly expounded on and revealed. And so we go through these things based on that. Why is nifaq such a big thing in Ummat Muhammad as versus other ancient nations? Isn't nifaq a big thing in our society today? Shoot, jump on there on Facebook, Instagram, I mean, nifaq is rampant. Hypocrisy is rampant in our society. And it has been in our culture for a long time. I mean, we grew up in the Christian church talking about the priest says, do as I say, not as I do. Right? So, I mean, nifaq is something for the modern age. And so, Ummat Muhammad had to deal with that too. Yeah. Any other questions? Please, some answers? No? Then we'll send a salawat and call it a night, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma kun li waliyyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. Salawatuka alayhi wa ala aba'ih. في هذه الساعة وفي كل الساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجا.